welcome to Monroe MustHangs. I'm your host, David Spiegel, and today we're wrapping up our National Athletic Training Month series with the Director of Sports Medicine at Monroe College, Jessica Rayford. Jess has been on the show before. Go back and check our archives for her previous episode to learn all about her and everything she's contributed to Monroe College. But today's episode was a little more focused on current events, looking back on this month and all the talking about all the athletic trainers we have and how great they are. And Jess brought every single one of them in, so she's got a personal experience with every one of them. And we really got to discuss, making all the COVID protocols work, everything that they've done, all the hard work of the last few months to get to this point of actually playing. And it's a really good conversation. It's a good reflection on what has been, what got us to this point. And I think it's important to stress how hard the athletic trainers worked the last number of months, especially the last few weeks as we are getting started here in New Rochelle. Of course, our baseball and softball teams are already in season. They're in full swing now. Soccer and track and field are ready to get going in a couple weeks. And for the Monroe Express, everything's starting up in a little over a week. So it's a very exciting time. And we really have to thank our athletic trainers for doing so much hard work, preparing our teams, preparing our staff, preparing our coaches to get to this point and how to follow the protocols and keep everyone healthy and on the field, on the track. So, very excited to wrap this up, and I hope you enjoy this episode. And just to talk about a few more current events, yes, I'm recording this Wednesday afternoon, and on Tuesday our baseball team swept a doubleheader up at Genesee Community College. And today they are playing at Niagara County Community College, and their road trip just continues throughout this week. We have a newly relocated home JV baseball game this Friday at 3:30 p.m. against Suffolk County Community College. So that will be live on YouTube, and we'll have live stats, weather pending, of course. We have a little bit of a nervous forecast there, but we'll hopefully be getting that game in, and you'll be able to watch it from home comfortably. And then we'll see. The schedule is ever changing, as we've said 100,000 times. Subject to change is a very, very important thing to say on every single schedule. So, again, keep on checking MonroeCollegeMustangs.com, MonroeExpress.com. Check out the social media pages for both departments because those schedules are changing basically by the minute. Unfortunately and fortunately, adding games, removing games. It is what it is. That's the spring season every year, no matter what. Weather gets in the way, and now we have COVID protocols in the way, and it just happens. So we're gonna get through this season. It's gonna be great when all is said and done. So we're staying focused. We're looking at the positives of all of it, and these teams are gonna play a lot of games when we reach the end of this year, and hopefully be playing in the postseason as well. So that's it for me from today. We get back to a traditional format next week. Guests for next week and beyond unannounced, but we're going to figure that out very soon. See if we stick with this format of myself introducing the show or if we start right away with our guests. We'll see. We'll test it out. Let us know if you have any thoughts on it. Send us a tweet, comment on Instagram, comment on YouTube, whatever you want. We'll see it all. So, thank you everyone for tuning in for our National Athletic Training Month series, and we wrap it up with our interview with Director of Sports Medicine, Jessica Rayford. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the show, Director of Sports Medicine at Monroe College and Associate Athletic Director for the Monroe MustHangs, Jessica Rayford.
Hello. Hi, David.
Welcome back. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing this again. Of course, you are now a two-time guest on the show, so I'm glad to have you back on. And you're now the anchor for our National Athletic Training Month series, coming in last to wrap things up as the one who invented sports medicine at Monroe College and got the whole program started, now running it on two different campuses. I figured you're the one to have on last and wrap up the month. So thank you again for coming back.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I appreciate you asking me.
Of course, we've interviewed Andrew, Raven, Bobby, Morgan, and Amanda over the last few weeks. And I think we've showed, our audience, whoever they may be, students, parents, alumni, just who they all are, how they got here. A lot of them have had stories about how they got here because they met you before they were here. So, you're just making connections left and right that work out well for us. So plenty we could talk about. We know all about you from the previous episode you were on, and There will be a link in the caption to this video and somewhere on the top here somewhere, so look out for that. So we could skip that part, of course. But let's go right into like what's been happening lately. We're recording this on March 23rd, which means that we are basically a week into our seasons now. As we're recording this, we're watching the baseball team finish up a game, and things are running pretty smoothly so far through 1 week, I'd say. We haven't had any cancellations because of anything on our end. Obviously the schedules are ever changing in the spring, no matter what. And this is an even weirder season, so things are going to happen. But, so far on our end of things, we're doing pretty well. And I think it's the athletic trainers that have played an enormous role getting us to this point throughout the last few months, dealing with practices starting back in August and going through almost Thanksgiving and coming back on campus in January, February, getting teams practicing, getting them on the field a couple weeks before the season, and now actually playing. So what are you feeling about this now that we're actually doing it, now that it's actually here? What are your thoughts on all of it?
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks for actually taking the time and the space to acknowledge myself and my assistant athletic trainers. March being athletic trainers awareness month, if you will. We as athletic trainers strive to let everybody know what we do, and sometimes there's a lot of people that do not know exactly what we do, and there's a lot of people who don't know the expertise that we have and the education that we hold, and all the different experiences that we have to make the best experience and health decisions for student athletes. So again, I just appreciate you taking the time and interviewing every single person. That's really cool of you, and we all appreciate it. My athletic trainers are pretty cool. They all just strive to put their best foot forward. I've known Bobby and Andrew the longest. Bobby I've known for years, probably like 9 or 10 years, the longest. He's worked for me in different capacities. Andrew, different capacities as well. But yeah, they're all super great and super knowledgeable. And the number one thing is passionate. So you cannot force passion at all, and it's a breath of fresh air to have. Coming to work is a pleasure. Dealing with the patients is a pleasure, and dealing with the colleagues is a pleasure. So it's easy to come to work. Like you just said, COVID's been a bit of a mission for us to keep everybody healthy, keep the student athletes on the field, make sure the athletic director doesn't go crazy. All these things are so many moving parts, right?
I think that one's already happened, and it's been going on for a few years anyway.
I think that's inevitable, right? But so many moving parts. But I'll tell you what, we have locked down our COVID game day protocol that suits us, that fits us. And yourself, Francis, Dennis, the athletic trainers everybody's put their best foot forward to make sure that these things are going off without a hitch. And I couldn't be more prouder, of everybody and all the hard work and all these things, and everybody just collaborating on, what it takes to run a great game day. It's not the way we would like. It's not obviously the environment we would like to be in. No fans. Very condensed sort of a version of our spring season. But I'll tell you what, we're happy to be here. We're very happy to be here, and we're happy to be back in our environment and not cooped up. We're happy to see the students smiling and practicing and playing games. We're happy to see the umpires again. All those little staples of spring. We're so happy to be here. And on the athletic training front, I'll tell you, when we first started, I, like everybody, getting to know COVID, right? Getting to know what it means. We didn't have these things in our bachelor's degree or master's degree, so we didn't go over that in the chapter books, So, however, again, collaboration happens, and tons of listening, tons of practicing, tons of spreadsheets, and yeah, like anything, when we approach a game, health and safety is always first and foremost, right? We always make sure, whether pre-COVID or post-COVID, we make sure that the student athlete has the best experience from the time that they walk in with the physical to the time that they leave, whatever injury they sustain. God forbid they get COVID, but the care that we give and the attention that we give to every single game day, to every single student, to every single team and coach is not foreign to us by any means. We excel at it, and this is just another notch on the belt, if you will. You know, it's been fun. We'll be happy when it's over, but just one of those things. You can't knock experience. You can't knock experience. You know, and like I said, we've been here before, because whether it is a run-of-the-mill ankle sprain or a season-ending knee injury or whatever the case is, we are here for the beginning, the middle, the end, and we're used to it. It's not foreign to us, and we're just so happy to be here. And like I said, I appreciate you taking the time and giving us the space and the opportunity to talk about it and to brag a little bit.
I'm absolutely happy to do it. It's something I respect so much, is the hard work that you all do already, and then now added this on top of it, and, you know, all the different jobs that you've had to basically add to everyone's job description because of all this. I know, I think Raven did all of our home games this past week, and you know, he's basically the COVID enforcer at these games. So I know that's a little bit overwhelming, but I will say it's been nice not having people hovering over my shoulder while I'm doing the stats and the announcing and all the stuff during games. So that's been a little bit of a, you know, not, you know, I guess literally a breath of fresh air. But you know, I'm hoping that you know, by the next time we're doing this, you know, the next year that we're doing this, that, you know, things can be a little bit back to whatever our new normal is going to be. Hopefully a lot more comfortable, and everyone can kind of do what they're used to doing again. But I think, you know, the athletes are doing their best with it, of course, from what I've seen. It's not easy to kind of get out of that comfort zone. I think, you know, they haven't seen what game day is like until this week. So, and neither have we. So I think it's been, you know, really good so far. But you know, just talking with all the other trainers over the past month, you know, just learning that all the different experiences they've had, and how a lot of them have, you know, found their way to Monroe through you. But also just in learning how things are different between New Rochelle and the Bronx, just having to, you know, deal with, you know, we have a commuter campus down there, and how much stricter it has to be, with the Bronx being a little bit more of a COVID hotspot, trying to keep our athletes safe. So, you know, I think Morgan and Amanda down there have been doing a really good job. So I'm wondering if you have anything to say about the contributions the two of them have made over the past few months.
Yeah, so that's a great point that you bring up, that two different campuses, right? So two different management styles, if you will. And I'm sure the viewers and the listeners know the history behind the Express, so I won't give it too much detail and attention. But it's a very new program, right? So what are we at, 3 years now or something like this? The third year?
We're in the fourth year now.
Fourth year, okay. So the fourth year,
so.
2017. So Morgan, she came on as an assistant athletic trainer in 2018 or 19. I can't remember. I'm sure she told all the viewers. But she started as an assistant. And as an assistant, it was only year 1.5 or something, or year 2 or something. And so we were still trying to figure out policies and procedures. But I'll tell you what, Morgan took it all in stride, and she's like, give me more, give me more, give me all the problems. I will solve them all, no problem. So all the problems that came left and right, whether that is transportation, because not having on-site facilities is a problem. Getting water and ice, it's the details, right? Details matter in a lot of things. And as the support staff, the athletic trainers, we make sure that those details are very specific, and we're hitting every single one. So the details of getting water, getting ice, making sure that the field is playable, making sure everybody's getting there safely, but so on and so forth. Morgan took all those things in stride when all of those experiences were new, because it's a new program. And then Amanda coming along this year during COVID, I met Amanda via Zoom. We interviewed via Zoom. We got to know each other via Zoom, and cut to 9 or 10 months later, we met in person at the baseball field the other day when you and I were together the other day. That was my first time meeting her in person. So she has been phenomenal, where somebody I can give you something, not meeting you at all in person, not, establishing that sort of a conventional work relationship, if you will, right? So all the nuances that COVID has hit us with, the two women have gone into stride with it, and I can even be more happier. That commuter campus, it can be a nightmare with COVID, as you can imagine. It can be a nightmare with getting people in line, and it can be a nightmare for coordinating, like I said, the details. The devil's in the details. So coordinating all of these things. The two have done a phenomenal job, and I can't even speak more higher about the two of them.
I've been basically working for both the Mustangs and the Express since I think last April, I want to say. So I've been very hands-on with the two of them as well. And I know Morgan was taking on extra roles over the summer and doing a lot more. So it's been enlightening seeing all the education they're providing us and how they've been helping implement all the protocols too, and how they really do have to be a lot stricter about it in the Bronx than up in New Rochelle, just because of, like we said, the commuter school and just how things are going in Westchester versus how they're going in the Bronx. So I know they've helped me a lot with educating me on a lot of the stuff, and I know I'm doing my best to follow the protocols they've put in place. Even fully vaccinated, I'm still getting tested every week. So that's been a fun experience, of course, every Monday morning for me. But and then of course in New Rochelle too, I was even in the athletic training room today, and it's so different going in there now when you see only a couple athletes at once, when I'm used to seeing an entire team in there. And I know, you still have that one-on-one interaction with a lot of athletes, but you don't necessarily get to see as many at a time or interact with as many. So I know, Andrew, Raven, and Bobby over there have been locking it down when you're not around, and when you're off doing the million things that you're responsible for doing. So, it's again, just I want to make sure we're praising all the right people here who have done a really good job. And, we've also, I think in my time here, Andrew got there, I think a little before me. Raven got to Monroe a little bit after me. Bobby's been around for however many years as you just said before. So, before we wrap things up here, can you speak on the relationship you have with the three trainers in New Rochelle? I know, Andrew came in as a student athletic trainer, and Raven had, I think he was in a class with you as well, and then he was working in the area and then came on board. So can you tell us a little more of the background that you had with all of them?
Yeah, sure. So Andrew was in a class I was teaching. I was actually teaching at Long Island University, Brooklyn, and he was in my emergency response class. I think I taught two classes at LIU, but I'm pretty sure that's the class he was in. It was the emergency response, I think. But he as he is now, stuck out like a sore thumb, asked a million questions, kept me on my toes. Well, what about this and what about that? And he was assigned to Monroe College as a student athletic trainer, and again, just stuck out, very much go-getter, asking tons and tons of questions, and hungry, passionate, like I said, right? So full circle with the passion. Bobby, I've known Bobby forever as a per diem athletic trainer, so somebody that's coming in covering games that I don't have enough staff to cover, right? So a random Saturday, a random Sunday, a volleyball game, tournaments, whatever. That's how Bobby came about. And then he couldn't leave us. He was stuck with us, and I was more than happy to have him. But he has been a anchor for me. Bobby has, because he's always been the person I can call. Hey, Bobby, I have this Saturday game. This is 9 years ago, right? Oh yeah, Jess, no problem, right? Hey, Bobby, I need the texting. Yeah, no problem. Hey, Bobby, I have a whole full-time job. Yeah, no problem. I'll come on over. Raven, same. I've known Raven from Dominican College. We know the same colleagues from Dominican, and reaching out to his professors to find somebody to work. His professor recommended him, gave me all his strengths, and gave me one weakness of his. And I'll tell you what, Raven is phenomenal and is nothing short of all the things that his professor said about him, with the one weakness. And it's phenomenal. Raven is what you see is what you get, and he never strays left or right. He's just going to be this solid rock. I know what I'm going to get from Ray. But yeah, the three men, I'll tell you what, as different as they are in their personal lives, I'll tell you what, they come together in athletic training and in the MAC and game days, and they figure out how to make it work. And as you can imagine, and I'm sure anybody else in a professional setting can imagine, those sort of camaraderies while working is essential. And like I said, as different as the three are, the four of us are, let's say, I'll put myself in there, as different as the four of us are, I'll tell you what, when we clock in and, when we're texting and we're trying to make things work, it's a fluid dynamic, and it happens, effortlessly. Great working relationship. And I couldn't do it without them. As you know, and your viewers know, or will come to find out, I've been at the college 10 years, actually 11, this year, May, 11 years. But this staff I have right now is my rock. It's my, they've been there through thick and thin, and I can never, say more awesome things about them. I'm so just proud of them and how they carry their own and how professional they are, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, with all the chaos that comes with college athletics and colleges in general, I think this is the steadiest part of our department that you could, when you look at it, like, sports medicine's got it locked down. I think both campuses as well. I mean, especially, as the Express have grown too, and they had, they started off not even having their own trainer's room, and then they developed a little cubicle, and then it became an actual trainer's room, and it's continuing to expand. So everyone's working with what they got. When I got to Monroe as well, the New Rochelle training room was still half of what it is right now. It was, took an office space away and turned it into double the size of the training room. I know how excited you were for that one. So I think we're very privileged at Monroe to have such facilities and all the resources that we do have. I know you're always excited telling me about all the different equipment that you get every once in a while too. I know that everyone was excited for those Theraguns last year, and more things like that. So like I said, I think we're very privileged, and we're lucky to have who we have at Monroe. Obviously yourself, I could praise you all day long, but I'll stop here because we're running out of time. But I think our athletes are very lucky. I've gone in there for help myself too sometimes, but I think we're very lucky with, you look around other colleges at this level, and even just other colleges in the area that are above our level technically, and they don't even necessarily have what we have. So it's very impressive. I'm very appreciative of everything that you all do, and of course I just wanted to wrap up the month and saying all that, and I hope that any athletes or future athletes that are watching this know that these are all the people that are going to keep you healthy, and every once in a while just give them a thank you out of nowhere, because they deserve it.
That is so nice of you, David. I just really want to say thank you for taking the time to observe everything and just take the time to be present in our space. It means so much to us. Like it really does. We definitely have the passion. We're here for it. We love the student athletes. We love Monroe College, and I appreciate you being able to see what we've taken a lot of time to develop and portray and to give. And I really appreciate you seeing and telling us as well, taking the time to actually take the time and say something. Like, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course. I'm happy to do it. Happy to highlight all of our athletic trainers. Again, just always doing such a wonderful job, and not necessarily getting the recognition that's deserved. I'm sure the athletes are thanking you all the time, but I want people a little bit outside of our bubble to understand all the hard work that you all do as well. Before we wrap up, are there any other messages you want to send to our audience, our students, our parents, our alumni, anybody that might be coming to Monroe soon, staff, administrators, just after all especially after the last year and so much hard work going into all this? Are there any final messages you want to pass along?
Nothing that everybody doesn't already know. Stay safe, stay healthy, wear a mask, do not get COVID, don't pass it on to anybody, stay vigilant. If you are a incoming student and you might happen to be watching this, get your physical. Thank you very much, and send it my way. My details David will put my details up for you. But call me if you have questions. Email me if you have questions. My cell phone's online, I think, too. Whatever. But yeah, we're here for you. We love it. So go Mustangs.
You're not too hard to find, of course. So everyone at home, thank you for watching, of course. Make sure you go check out Jess's last appearance on Monroe MustHangs. And it's a nice long episode. So give it a good, give yourself some time to listen and pay attention to it, because we learn a lot. We hear a lot of great things. And even just not just even sports medicine, but just about the person. And of course, Monroe College, because, you've been here with us for a very long time as well. So thank you again. And for those at home, make sure you're checking out all the episodes from this month and all 30 episodes that came before this. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/Monroe MustHangs. Check us out on our Instagram page, on IGTV at Monroe MustHangs. Check us out on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. We're all over the place. Even check our website for it. So thank you again, everyone. Thanks for hanging with us this week. Jess, thank you so much. Thank you to all the trainers again for this month. And I'm, so happy to be able to highlight all of you. And it's going to be interesting to go back to the normal version of this show after this. But again, thank you so much for your time this time again. And I will be seeing you in person again very soon.
Very soon. Very soon. Thanks again, David.
Thank you. And everyone stay safe and take care. Monroe MustHangs is sponsored by the Monroe Mustang Sideline Store, powered by our apparel partners at BSN Sports. Whether you're looking for t-shirts, hats, jackets, or accessories, the Monroe Mustang Sideline Store has it all. Gear up with the new Monroe Mustangs logo and make it your own with hundreds of customizable options, including sport-specific designs. For the month of March, you can take 20% off all orders of $80 or more using the promo code MARCH21. That's MARCH21. Visit MonroeCollegeMustangs.com/shop to look your best as you cheer on the Mustangs.